Hi, welcome to EPG Pathshala Spanish. We are in the paper entitled Advanced Spanish Grammar. I am Gaurav Kumar and I teach Spanish in the Center of Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and Latin American Studies in Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. The title of this module is Unipersonal Verbs. In this module, we are going to see certain type of verbs that are called unipersonal verbs. Which are those verbs and how are they used will be discussed in this module. The Spanish verbs have been explained in the beginner and intermediate level Spanish grammar. You may recall the uses of the impersonal verbs in Spanish. Unipersonal verbs are also at times referred to as impersonal verbs by some language experts. There are two divisions: proper unipersonal verbs and second, improper unipersonal verbs. Proper unipersonal verbs are those that can only be conjugated in the infinitive and the third person singular of all the tenses and have no subject. Most of these verbs refer to natural, meteorological, or atmospheric phenomena, although they are not the only ones. Let us take the examples one by one. First is the case of the verb llover, which means to rain. It is a stem changing verb and the vowel O changes into UE in the conjugation. The third person singular is the only possible conjugation in all tenses and mood. Obviously, the command form cannot be used with such verbs, but the indicative and subjunctive are possible in the different tenses of past, present, and future. In the indicative, for the verb llover, the forms are present indicative, it is llueve, the past or the preterite is llovió, the imperfect past is llovía, and the future is lloverá. The same verb in the subjunctive has the following conjugation. In the present subjunctive, it is llueva, and in the imperfect subjunctive, it is lloviera. In the conditional, it is llovería. The gerund form of llover is lloviendo, and the past participle is llovido. Let us take some examples. El Departamento Meteorológico pronostica que mañana va a llover. I repeat, el Departamento Meteorológico pronostica que mañana va a llover. In English, the translation is, the meteorological department predicts that it is going to rain tomorrow. Let us take another example. Ayer llovió a cántaros en Mumbai. I repeat, ayer llovió a cántaros en Mumbai. Yesterday, it rained cats and dogs in Mumbai. Another example, este monzón ha llovido poco. I repeat, este monzón ha llovido poco. This monsoon, it has rained less. Another example, espero que llueva en la semana que viene. I repeat, espero que llueva en la semana que viene. The English translation is, I hope it rains in the next week. Next example, fue extraño que lloviera tanto en el desierto. I repeat, fue extraño que lloviera tanto en el desierto. In English, it was strange that it rained so much in the desert. I hope the sentences have made you understand the usage of the unipersonal verb llover in different forms. Now we can go through the list of such verbs and their conjugation pattern. Amanecer, which means sunrise or dawn. In the present indicative, it is amanece. In the past or the preterite form, it is amaneció. In the imperfect past, it is amanecía. Future, amanecerá. Conditional, amanecería. In the subjunctive, the present subjunctive form is amanezca. Imperfect, amaneciera. Gerund, amaneciendo. Past participle, amanecido. Next verb is anochecer, to get dark or dusk. The indicative forms in different present tense, past and future and conditional are the following. Present, anochece. Preterit, anocheció. Imperfect past, anochecía. Future, anochecerá. Conditional, anochecería. Subjunctive forms are present, anochezca. Imperfect, anocheciera. Gerund, anocheciendo. Past participle, anochecido. Atardecer, to get dark or twilight. The present indicative, atardece. The preterite, atardeció. The imperfect, atardecía. Future, atardecerá. Conditional, atardecería. The subjunctive forms are present, atardezca. The imperfect subjunctive, atardeciera. Gerund is atardeciendo. Past participle, atardecido. Next verb is diluviar, to rain heavily. Present indicative, diluvia. Preterite, diluvió. Imperfect past, diluviaba. Future, diluviará. Conditional, diluviaría. The subjunctive forms are present, diluvie. Imperfect, diluviará. Gerund, diluviando. And the past participle is diluviado. Next verb is eclipsar, to eclipse. The indicative form are present, eclipsa. Preterite, eclipsó. Imperfect past, eclipsaba. Future, eclipsará. Conditional, eclipsaría. The subjunctive forms are present, eclipse. Imperfect, eclipsará. Gerund, eclipsando. And the past participle, eclipsado. Next verb is escarchar, which means to frost. Let us see the different conjugations possible in the third person singular for this verb. In the indicative, present form is escarcha. The preterite is escarchó. The imperfect form is escarchaba. Future, is escarchará. Conditional is escarcharía. Let's see the subjunctive forms for the same verb. Present subjunctive is escarche. Imperfect subjunctive form is escarchara. Gerund form is escarchando and the past participle is escarchado. The next verb related to the atmosphere or weather is gotear, which means to drizzle. The indicative forms are present gotea, preterit goteo, the imperfect past goteaba, future is goteará, conditional is gotearía. The subjunctive forms are as follows. The present subjunctive is gotee, imperfect subjunctive is goteara, the gerund form is goteando, and the past participle goteado. Next verb is granizar, to hail. The indicative forms are the present graniza, preterit granizó, imperfect past granizaba, future granizara, conditional granizaría. Now let us see the subjunctive forms for the verb granizar. Present subjunctive granice, imperfect subjunctive granizara. Keep in mind the present subjunctive form of the verb as there is a change of the letter Z to C, granice. The gerund form is granizando and the past participle is granizado. The next verb is helar, to freeze. Keep into mind that it is stem changing in the present indicative and it changes the vowel E to IE. Hence, the present indicative form is hiela. H is silent. The preterit form is heló. The imperfect past form is helaba. Future is helará. Conditional is helaría. Now let us see the subjunctive forms for the verb helar. Present subjunctive is hiele. The imperfect subjunctive is helará. Gerund form is helando and the past participle is helado. The next verb is lloviznar, which means in English to drizzle. Let us see the indicative forms of this verb. In the present indicative, it is llovizna. In the preterit, llovizno. Imperfect past is lloviznaba. The future form is lloviznará. Conditional is lloviznaría. Now let us see the subjunctive. The present subjunctive is llovizne. The imperfect subjunctive form is lloviznara. Gerund form is lloviznando and the past participle is lloviznado. Let us see the next verb now, which is to snow. It is also a stem changing verb. The E changes into IE in the conjugations of the present indicative. So, the present indicative form is nieva. The preterite form is nevó. The imperfect form is nevaba. The future nevará. Conditional nevaría. Now let us see the subjunctive part for the same verb. The present subjunctive is nieve. The imperfect subjunctive is nevara. The gerund form is nevando and the past participle is nevado. The next verb here is nublar, to darken or to cloud over. The present indicative form of this verb is nubla. The preterite is nublo. The imperfect past form is nublaba. The future form is nublara. The conditional is nublaria. Now let us go on and see the subjunctive part for the same verb. In the present subjunctive, it is nuble. In the imperfect subjunctive, it is nublara. In the gerund form, it is nublando. And in the past participle, it is nublado. The following verb, relampaguear, is a difficult one and it means lightning or flash of lightning. In the present indicative, it is conjugated as relampaguea. In the preterite, it is conjugated as relampagueo. In the imperfect form of the past, it is conjugated as relampagueaba. Future form is relampagueara. The conditional form is relampaguearia. And now let us see the subjunctive part for the same verb. In the present subjunctive, it is relampague. In the imperfect subjunctive, it is relampagueara. In the gerund form, it is relampagueando. And the past participle form is relampagueado. The next verb that we will consider is tronar, which means to thunder. It is a stem changing verb in the present indicative and the O changes to UE in the conjugation. So the present indicative form is truena and the preterite form is trono. The imperfect past form is tronaba. Future is tronara. Conditional tronaria. The subjunctive forms of this verb are the present subjunctive truene, imperfect subjunctive tronara, the gerund form is tronando, and finally the past participle form is tronado. It is interesting to note that when the unipersonal verbs are not used in their true sense, then in that case they cease to act as unipersonal verbs and can be conjugated with other persons of singular and plural forms. It is more of a figurative use of such verbs rather than being a literal use. Let us take some examples. Durante la guerra llovían bombas del cielo. I repeat, durante la guerra llovían bombas del cielo. The English translation is, during the war, bombs used to rain from the sky. Let us take another example. Amanecimos en París. I repeat, amanecimos en París. The English equivalent is, we woke up in Paris. Let us now see the case of the improper unipersonal verbs. It refers to the verbs that in some usages act like the unipersonal verbs, conjugating only in the third person singular and the infinitive forms only. The verbs hacer, ser, and haber at times act like unipersonal verbs. Hacer, in its function of describing the weather, acts like an unipersonal verb. The third person singular conjugation of hacer is used in the following cases. Hace calor. I repeat, hace calor. It is hot. Hará frío mañana. Hará frío mañana. It will be cold tomorrow. It can be used as an infinitive also, like in the following example. Hoy va a hacer calor. I repeat, hoy va a hacer calor. It is going to be hot today. The expression hace que and hace, in order to express the duration of time, also is invariable and behaves like the unipersonal verbs. Let us see some examples. Hace 5 meses que estudio español. I repeat, hace 5 meses que estudio español. The English equivalent is, I have been studying Spanish for 5 months. Another example is, India ganó la independencia hace 65 años. I repeat, la India ganó la independencia hace 65 años. In English, India got independent 65 years ago. Haber. The verb haber, when used in the third person singular, with the meaning of existence or being of something, acts like a unipersonal verb. The forms of haber that correspond to the format of unipersonal verbs are ha, había, habido, habrá, habría, hay, haya, hubiera, hubo. Let us see some examples. Ha habido muchas manifestaciones en la ciudad. I repeat, ha habido muchas manifestaciones en la ciudad. The English equivalent is, there have been many protests in the city. Let us take another example. Hay muchos extranjeros en mi universidad. I repeat, hay muchos extranjeros en mi universidad. There are many foreigners in my university. Había muchos caballos en el campo. I repeat, había muchos caballos en el campo. In English, there were many horses in the countryside. Next example. Es increíble que no haya nadie quien sepa esta dirección. I repeat, es increíble que no haya nadie quien sepa esta dirección. In English, it is unbelievable that there isn't anybody who knows this address. The verb ser also has some similar usages in the third person singular without a specific subject. Ya era muy tarde. I repeat, ya era muy tarde. It was very late. Other verbs that can be considered unipersonal are verbs that cannot be conjugated in the first and second person rather only conjugated in the third person singular and also plural forms. Verbs like suceder, acontecer, ocurrir, etc., because of their meaning, are only used in the third person singular and plural. You will also notice that in these examples, there is a subject for the verb. For example, suceder, which means to happen, cannot be used in the first or second person. El accidente sucedió en un lugar abarrotado. I repeat, el accidente sucedió en un lugar abarrotado. The English version is, the accident happened in a crowded place. Then we have such verbs that because of the structure are conjugated in the third person singular or plural form. For example, parecer, importar, bastar, etc. Examples: Me parece interesante tu análisis del texto. I repeat, me parece interesante tu análisis del texto. In English, I find your text analysis interesting. The verbs that represent the sounds emitted by animals are also conjugated either in the third person singular or the plural, hence considered unipersonal. Some examples of such verbs are aullar, aullar, to howl, cacarear, to cackle, cacarear, to cackle, croar, croar, to crow, gruñir, gruñir, to snarl, ladrar, ladrar, to bark, maullar, maullar, to mew, mugir, mugir, to moo, relinchar, relinchar, to neigh, rugir, rugir, to roar. Unipersonal verbs are interesting and need special attention at the time of use. Hope it will add to your already vast knowledge of the Spanish verbs. There are verbs that represent the sounds emitted by animals, and these verbs are also conjugated either in the third person singular or the third person plural form, and therefore they are considered unipersonal. As you can understand that these verbs cannot be conjugated in other forms of yo, tú, or nosotros, vosotros, because they refer to specific animals, and animals will always be referred to either in the third person singular or in the third person plural. Some examples of such verbs are aullar. I repeat, aullar, which means to howl. Next is cacarear. I repeat, cacarear, which means to cackle. For example, we can say, los pájaros cacarean mucho. I repeat, los pájaros cacarean mucho, which means in English, birds cackle a lot. Next verb is croar. Croar, to croak. This particular sound is related with the croaking of the toads. In Spanish, las ranas croan mucho. Las ranas croan mucho. Toads croak a lot. The next verb is gruñir. Gruñir, to snarl. The next verb is ladrar. Ladrar, which means to bark and is associated with dogs. In the sentence, for example, el perro ladró mucho al ver el ladrón. I repeat, el perro ladró mucho al ver al ladrón, which in English means the dog barked a lot on seeing the thief. Maullar, maullar or to mew is associated with cats or gatos in Spanish. Mugir is the verb which is assigned to the mooing of the cows, or las vacas mugen en el campo. Las vacas mugen en el campo. Cows moo in the countryside. Relinchar. Relinchar is the verb related to the name, basically related to the horses or caballos. We have rugir or to roar as the verb related to the sound of lions. For example, el león rugió a una voz alta. El león rugió en una voz alta. The tiger roared loudly. Conclusion. In this module, we have covered a different set of verbs which are definitely going to help you understand the verb patterns of Spanish language. The unipersonal verbs are interesting and they do need special attention at the time of use. Hope it will add to your already vast knowledge of the Spanish verbs. Thank you. Gracias.